So, hi. It is now September 16, 2019. So, I just like to record this. I just recorded a whole thing, right? I woke up. I don't know if you people have this housing, where you just want to video record yourself constantly, saying, Alexa, open up the lights, Alexa. So I don't know if they thought that the child in 2007, that was at Jan Chris Studio. I think they have her left arm ripped off in the same, posing of the Jan Chris picture on the beige box with her legs crossed and play with like the uniforms and the bathing suits of the children that I think they killed. So I'm just going to go back to 1968. Let's keep the reflection of who I am. It's not an epilogue or anything like that. I just, I am not into politics. The reason why I'm not into politics is, 4 abortions and 1 miscarriage and since 1985 to the year 2000, 1999. Then approximately 2 years later, I have a child. So I think the child that, was my child, Christina Towns, is the one that was in the blue bathing suit that they might think is the Mets and batteries. So I'll go it again. They've video recorded themselves. They're not entitled to Christina Downs' benefits and any type of, widow's compensation or survivor's benefits, saying that's the leftover, what's your social security number, and you can change the number over by one. They're not entitled to it. So, I tried to explain that to them, that, if you are disabled, they're not disabled. All right. I even said, what is her name? Olivia Alvarez for the jockey, at Belmont or something. How many times you'd say you have an electric stimulus? Can you have that? And I really looked at that. Why would you drop a child off to a disabled woman, give them psychiatric medication, and then think that they are going to give you food anytime they go shopping and you'll copy it? You're mentally ill, right? So, I went there, and I'm just going to say, it's the same woman, all right? The same woman, like I said, I don't need dental service. If you want to go, your teeth don't look like that. Good. I'm not you. Dental records were stolen, I think, out of that bag on June 18, 2013 at Rustic Avenue and Middle Country Road, and they all started using Christina Downs' mold of her incisors of her upper and lower mandala. Number one, you're not supposed to share dental equipment. To state that your teeth look similar, it doesn't matter. All right. So when my child was neglected, it was neglected there at 3 Deer Lane in East Setauket, who the law guardians are, John and Barbara Downs, not the Krajewskis. All right. If you want to say the hearsay court is there for you, are you looking for food? All right. Now, when I go and state that, that's 2014. So 2014, I think that was when I said, oh, let me take a cruise. All right. I took a cruise to Bermuda. It was very nice. 2015, I think I took a cruise to 2 other cruises. It was a 1 week, then 2 weeks, right, to the same area. You're going to the same East Coast area over and over again. And I don't live there, all right? I didn't grow up there. I don't live there, all right? And I really look at that. How can you make America great again? Is that the Mac Studio menu and you're looking for food to sell? So I think that is a form of mental illness. I will not be getting any intelligence by people serving or receiving food. And I don't think anybody else will either. All right? So what I was trying to state is this guy was keep going. They took a picture of this child. Yeah, and I'm not related to the child. I don't want to see how many times the taxi cab would ask for food because there's a picture of the taxi cab in Port Jefferson at the Chinese sushi place. All right? I don't do food. So I tried to say, let me see how that looks to you. You replace the Cow Palace ingredients of goat, cow, horse, lamb. Don't ground it saying you stole the ground wire of the Bianchi bicycle, which is black and red, and keep talking that you went to electronics in 1983 at Ward Melville. These people keep, I don't know how much drugs they did. They're out to lunch permanently. So this person, I think, has a picture of me that states, that woman could be the twins. They're the exact same age and play the role of the psychiatrist sitting down on a talk show. The other one will be standing up doing a hip-hop video. And anytime you need to know what my name again, I'm the same person. And I looked at that, how embarrassing it is. Why would you ask that for a vote? You're probably stating Christina Downs saw Stephen Engelbright on Matha front lawn with about maybe 100 motor vehicles and shook Hillary Clinton's hand. Is that when you say you live in Little Rock, Arkansas, where all the black people left? I'm not black. All right? And I tried to explain that to them at an early rate as a child. Anytime I did anything, they kept thinking it was for black people. I really just don't understand. Was it the black cable wire they ripped out, or it's still there at 3 Deer Lane? You can go visit on the side of the road with the vent and the brown carpet. And the beige will come up. Are you looking for food? Now, and when I record this, I can record this all day long. And I look at that as saying, it's really a shame. 1985, Christina Downs. It was easier for Kim or Body to drive to 2500 Nesconset Highway in Stony Brook. If that person give $150, then have any type of auditorium, assembly on somebody that is pregnant, and then state that you would have housing away from the person that could marry you, could not marry you. I have no idea. It's a 15-year-old. What is a 15-year-old getting pregnant saying they wanted to go get married in Pennsylvania for? All right, number one, there was in a fiscal budget. I'm extremely intelligent. In 1985, if you wanted to go back to the Reagan administration and take up the budget of the revisions of over 80 to 90 years ago, I looked at it long-term unemployment. How would you sustain life? Saying you could live there at 3 Deer Lane in East Setauket or 4 Branch Lane in East Setauket, and then state that you could have a family there of somebody that isn't even emotionally mature, not even old enough to hold a weapon, but yet you had guns, all of you about 4 or 5 years old. All right, if you thought you were a dog. I really just don't understand. These people are a house cat. And they stated in court, March 15th, 1975, the Hopog Court, now Department of Labor, I'm not related to you. So that's another one. Are you a Dotson? So there's Gene Dotson on Homestead Village. No, I'm not related to you. Doesn't matter if you look like you, have the same skin color, you can have coffee, tea, whatever, like everybody else, go shopping. I'm not related to you. How long do you get into your dog? This guy from England or something with bloodhounds or something like that, 500 years. I'm just not related to you. All right? I don't know who set up that system. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So don't approach me saying, you're going to make any type of information stating you copied the information that you stole on June 13th in 2013. June 18th, 2013. So, you really should be in your own little incinerator world. All right? It's playing with your wood-burning stove and fireplace right now. I'm not related to you. All right? I think that's when they didn't know what to do with the body. They chopped the body up, put it right there in the fireplace at 57 Church Lane. I went out. This Christopher Allison, allegedly John Russo, were on the roof playing with a bag for $75 that they stole from the Port Jefferson Army surplus. So, it's really, it's kind of comical, telling the truth. These people don't understand how to do that. Really talk. I'm saying, it's you. So, they have, I threw a camera out. They put in a goat neck. I'm not a goat. All right, if you're that delusional, reading the Bibles every day. You're reading the Bible. That to me is not a reality check. All right. Now, when you go in there and you don't realize who was after this Christopher Q. Now, let's really go 1985. Oh, here comes Kenny Tedesco. Let's even go, oh, you're 16. Look, I don't like you. Leave me alone. I'm not interested in being your wife, your friend, your family. You're very violent. You're on free-base cocaine. You keep thinking I'm driving you around or anything. I really don't like you, all right? So, instantly, again, you're pregnant. And you didn't know what to do because they kept giving you cocaine. So my father, out of the kindness of his heart, gave $1,000 to Nassau County Medical Facility, utilized that and says, oh, it doesn't matter if it's a boy or girl. Do you have housing for Christina Downs? I'm the same person. No, you don't. Keep saying you have to make too much money. They can't help you in an emergency, and they play with their motor vehicles. To me, that's mental illness. All right? So that's that area. It's not that I don't like you. I'm not interested in you. You're somebody that sat there and said you spent 7 years in Elmira. You were probably looking for somebody to drive you around and say, do you look good with a younger person? All right? So, I'm now that's 1986. Now let's keep continuing. Where are you going now to get housing? Oh, you found somebody there. You're driving around in the same area. They had Narcotics and Anonymous and Alcoholics Anonymous that you could go to so that you would refrain from that activity. In the meantime, you're with somebody, Hakeem Abdi, the person that takes the birth control pills, wants to be with you, smokes marijuana, lays there at Homestead Village. Somehow, I even think that is the brothers of his, and they make up names. I don't even know if Dawn is related to Hakeem Abdi, and they'll say that's your brother. You don't look anything alike, all right? So that was, again, I want, a ploy of saying, I want to get you pregnant, live there, and then say, look, I don't like you. So what are you doing there? Oh, you're on illicit drugs. It's not a form for me to base a relationship emotionally at. It wouldn't matter what race you are. All right? Wouldn't matter what religion. It's pretty factual. It's real accounts that you're not making any money doing that either. All right. Now on top of that, you're now that's what about 1989. You're at Brown's Fish Market. You're driving around the Subaru. I think that was there before the Cadillacs. Here, your Cadillac smashed. Mr. Downs is saying, here's another one. Just pay your insurance. What does that mean? 1,900 people are looking for food. I really didn't know what that meant. And anytime you went to say, are you going to pay for this? They don't pay for anything. All right. So, that is Hakeem Abdeen. There is no relationship. It is not a husband. It's not a spouse. All right. It's not a friend or family member. Now, if you want to continue, Joseph Maselli, I think he was around the time I was sitting at Karen Melman's desk calling him, I want to be with you. I don't know if they were sitting there cooking up freebase cocaine right across from Ward Melville High School in the basement partial apartment with Mike Smith. All right? So, I mean, you don't go anywhere. All right? So, that's them. And then, what were you doing with them? Good question. So, I think they had emotional imbalance. I think they started playing with their veterinarian. And talking to their pet, and then video recording their pet. Now, that's approximately 1990. All right? So now it's what? It's 2000. It's about maybe 10 years later, and you're marching around with Christina Downs, where the hospital she worked at, giving her psychiatric drugs. Making some sort of excuse that drugs is acceptable for the United States. It only took the terrorists of the Al-Qaeda, you're really nice, a different country, right? To just hijack an airplane and smash into the World Trade Center that quick, all right? Do you have housing for Christina Downs away from illicit mind and mood-altering drugs called psychiatric medication or any type of illegal activity, and not think that you can go in anywhere you want other than, is this simply safe, ADT, a derivative, and I am intelligent enough for those directions. This person is so mentally ill with his goddamn, restaurant shit, I have no idea. I mean, is that when you say, have a seat on my lap, Maria Musla? No, you're really not getting into reality, right? It's not going to help you dress for success, saying you can be a dietitian, Christina Downs. So in between there, you're just seeing Suffolk County, New York. So then you'll say, what did you do? I really liked your music. I dressed up and danced. I knew that I didn't want to be on stage dancing and doing music videos, really, for a hobby maybe, but not full time, because I knew that it was, extremely exhausting to say that you are the only person on stage. That is your main goal. And these are the people that want to watch you, because I don't know what that is. The laundromat by the pound? You have, tens of thousands of people just, sitting there commuting, sitting in auditorium seats outside and traveling. I've never been looked, related to that. And I looked on the grid on the insides with some of the computer monitors to see if somehow they programmed that. There's a little spot near the soldering iron and that decibel over there. The transmitter over there might be able to, you can get a phone call in. So I tried to look that on the computer programming type on the interior grids on how you might think that you're driving and that you're producing, greenhouse theory by the carbon monoxide from your muffler system, all right, which doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't, So then let's go there with the William Murray. You had 4 different residential addresses. I don't know if Bloomberg was over there in New Jersey. That's Riverside Avenue, the Hummer dealership with the Volkswagen. And then you're going in there after, a car accident in 1997, living at 107 Harding in Long Beach, New York, 290 Sagamore Hills Drive in Sagamore Hills. My parents must have thought, I was doing very well, but I think I was scattering, like scatterbrain. I think there's a game for that. There wasn't anybody to counsel economically on to take your money and then invest it. You're still back in 1987 with Madeline Barker and Tahitian Tropics and the pink card on the yellow and black Corvette at Hot Hair Dentist over near 7-Eleven in the intersection of Route 112 and what is that, Nichols Road? I don't know, was that Route 83? Yeah, I think that's Route 83 over there. All right, so I don't know where you think I am. I'm from New York. I'm not from a different country. If somehow they thought you could say Tahitian, Lithuanian, what is it, Polish, Lithuanian, Tahitian, that you're still traveling, looking to travel and, not address the fact Christina Downs applied for housing, realizing that you can't live at 3 Deer Lane. Then, to top it off, you could question yourself all day long. Why isn't the mother there if the child is? Good question. They just wanted to sell drugs, push drugs, and you emulate, some sort of reprimanding system of what? I smoke tobacco and drink coffee. I'm trained in anonymous eating. It's not too much of a mind or mood altering substance as Daypro, Paxil, cyclobenzaprine, Trilofan, Depakote, Cogentin, Haldol, Prolixin injections every 2 weeks. These people that we keep there thinking that their superior type of atmosphere is, whatever you eat has to be converted to like some sort of dance routine from over like 100 years ago, so you can have tablets or capsules or pills and take off to outer space mentally, but you don't physically leave. So that's a drug. All right? Those are drugs. And to top that off, to keep feeding a child for 10 consecutive years by somebody that is a known medical doctor in Long Island Jewish Hospital after sewing the child up and then stating that this other child is Christina. There isn't any visitation. There isn't any relationship with someone that's going to say Mama Chrissy, then update saying you're at the Big Mama's house and saying I'm related to these people. I never watch it as a child, and I don't watch it as an adult. All right? So it's very sad to see people like that, that take people the way they look and then group them into an area saying you're looking for the minority vote. Well, 1968, there's Christina Downs. She's got brown skin and she ain't related to anybody there. Are you still utilizing that for politics, religion? If you are, you're at a dead end, man. Just go dig your cemetery like Edward V. Lawson at the Union Cemetery. Robin Samber, I think, is in Bayshore, and Shirley Fetterman might be in Ronkonkoma, but I might mix it up because I already visited them in the cemetery. They pre-buried themselves. So that's your attorney, all right? Now, when some people just get up and do their hair, I don't know where'd you want to go. You want to wash yourself again at Erwin Berkowitz, a residence, in the psychiatric hospital, and say, it's Thursday, the visitation day for the female prisoners, and then you want to make an appointment, do your hair. No, not really. Leave me alone. I don't want you touching my hair. All right? You keep looking for food, like some psychotic thing, thinking hair is food. All right? So the thing is that in that, when I visit my mother, I want to see how many times you're going to be looking at the mailbox with the free sample of LA Fitness. The guy might go into the same position that ran over this dog named Sam if they thought that was your doctor in Port Jefferson, Samir Gerges, or Dr. Samuel Waba. All right, I have no idea why you think you're a dog. I have no idea. Anybody. It's the same people. So when I look at that, I like to record that because that's me. That's who I am. I'm so ugly to myself, so I don't record myself. You know what I mean? They came in and started playing with eyeglass frames, the mentally ill people. I mean, this guy was starting to put a prosthetic eyeball in his dog. Maybe it was the result is the California inside road is the lug nuts. I mean, I'm going back to the Dawood, Abdin, I had a Dawood, stereo system. What's his legal name other than waiting for Christina Downs to purchase something and thinking that's representing minority people? I'm not. You got President Barack Obama. He's born in Chicago, New York. That's your good representation of minority people. Pretty end of subject, right? Then on top of that, what is consistent of a minority? I have no idea. I really don't even know what that means. Is that the minor league baseballs? You're still looking to go to the Ducks? And they changed it to Bethpage Bank. So that's pretty good for today. It's Saturday, November 16, 2019. I believe my birth certificate is 7:20 in the morning. I don't know if you thought that was 7 teeth missing and you could sell crack cocaine. All right? June 10th, 1968 at 7:20 a.m. I think that's when I was born. All right? Now, if you thought I was African, you're still there walking around, you're talking to your pets in your village taxi, you know what I mean? Cool in the gang, saying 2012, the Supremes were sitting in the background with some child. Why are you looking at Christina Downs' child when I'm telling you the exact address that they are mutilating children and killing them? Why are you near me? I think they took one of the children and then put the entire Matha Hospital on the overhead camera and said, what was that? Was that liposuction? Or they showed you a dead camera, a dead child? I don't know. They had so much fat on their body. You know what I mean? Keep thinking I'm related to these people because you had a child. I'm not. I don't believe that food you eat forever. I mean, I have no idea. You have a child, you weigh it in, you think that's your new food drop-off or something. I just say you're mentally ill. All right? So, that's me. If you wanted to look at that, and then do the same thing. You have somebody that's stating that there's now a child, right? You already know the address, obviously, dropped off the child. You know what I mean? You're saying, how can I be in the same house of the child and say that I'm visiting a child, have some person visit the child and then video record it saying it looks good and then that somehow you would be involved. And then let's see how many times you say you're teaching the child, but yet following the mother again to see what they're eating. You're mentally ill. You're teachers. All right? That's why I said, I think that was, William Hughes. I don't know if you're related to Kelly Hughes, whatever you married on Arrowhead Lane with your mailbox and the ripped out electric grid. All right? If you're still out there, calling the telephone company to go fix it. And I did not do that either, by the way. If Jeff Scuba and Dana Campanelli want to all come out, they don't know what my name is. They think it's a reunion in your family. I'm not related to you. I mean, it's really being very, very pleasant. I'm really not related to you. Emil Gerges and Mario's going to say, hi, Chrissy. You know what I mean? It's not my name, but, I don't know what benefits you have of that. And then we'd sit there. If you wanted to time it with the Krajewskis, when would you come in? Evan Tannenbaum doesn't know who they are because they're not on the court order disposition. Obviously, that's my child. They're not entitled to collect anything. See how many times they're going to be closing your bank, saying you're related to Christina Downs on 720 on a PSI on type of resolution on a video camera, some sort of electronic product, but yet not realizing that the child is no longer living. So you have, I think, until the year 23 to 25 on the standard Social Security benefits that might think that they have grandchildren and children looking at somebody else's child and ain't related to it. So I don't know, what you would label that as. What did you get bribed, saying, in 2014, Southampton had a Christmas tree with Christmas presents. I think that was intended for Christina Downs and her child. So I don't know how many times you're going to look at these pictures. Here's this child and brownies to say, are you related to Kayla and Jaden and Larry? No. All right? There's no relationship with you. There isn't any relationship. Saying you got married. We'll look at this shoe in 1996. The Suffolk County, New York district area in New York State, the United States, would rather approach me with crack cocaine and marijuana as a form of communication. That's inappropriate behavior if you need more counseling. All right. Now you're going to say, here are these pills instead of tobacco. Leave me alone. I'm not, I don't know how mentally ill you are. All right. I don't even know, on how sick that is. Just sitting there saying, what are you eating? This guy is going to say he's going to clean the van, which I don't know if Van Shutter and Nancy Shutter are next to Robert Cattell. You're at James Lynch's house, Emil Gerges' house, and then the Volks' house with the Goldbergs. So you would say, do you have housing for Christina Downs? No. You called, they didn't have housing, they don't do emergency housing. And then to see, when do you fly away, and then see if you have that on Simply Safe, the child that fell from the second floor. Obviously, the child with Teresa Ortez's family was not Christina Downs' child with Zachary Hale or whatever the hell his name is, saying you're going to Chuck E. Cheese. All right? I'd look at the child. I don't know who the child was. These are the influences of the pain management medication with Dr. Golpiani. If you say a for sale sign is on there, 59347 in Port Jefferson, New York. Still looking for the co-insurance fee. That lady can answer the phone for you. If you're fighting for that, when are you going to lay in your hospital bed at 90 years old? Do you think you'd have any type of legitimate type of long-term health care? So I think they make the pub bank so you could walk across the street, get a cup of coffee in your right hand at Starbucks. They won't serve you unless you have a vehicle. So you're about maybe 25 feet from a building that has to get to a motor vehicle to go drive around another vehicle like you go get a coffee pot and make coffee yourself. You're homeless. Definitely they made a building knowing they're homeless. All right, so I really like to elaborate on that. Riverside Avenue, $1,500 if they thought that was automatic deposit and everything was Chinese food. I don't know why you think everything's Chinese food. It's the year, Jesus Christ was born. Are you looking for water? Like 1,000 years ago or something? I really don't know why they think everything's Chinese food. I personally don't. And I look at that to find out. After you moved there, and then you had an apartment there, all three of them, it was East Rutherford, I believe. East Rutherford was a no-drinking alcohol town, all right? You can't have any alcohol in there. I think they had Blockbuster, you could buy CDs, and it reminded me of Rack Lane in East Setauket, the same area. It's a very nice area, very brick and cobblestone, a very old Catholic cathedral church, very nice area in East Rutherford, New Jersey. But again, there's no discussion of long-term areas. What can your family do for that man? Obviously, I've been here since 1968. So how long do you think that Christina Downs, who is a woman, ain't a man, is going to be doing anything for you? I mean, I'm now 51 years old. I mean, is that a real deep-seated form of mental illness? All right. Uh, I really think about that. I was a child. I'm a child. You know what I mean? So they probably did that for you to say when you move to Belleville, New Jersey, right? These people again stated, you have a dog. The dog licked so much water it had dropped dead of, renal cancer. If there's any significance in that, it puked near the playground equipment in the borderline Nassau County, like New Hyde Park area. I have no idea. I don't know if you think there's any significance in that. The veterinarian in Port Jefferson. All right, Jack in the Box, I think, moved there with ground meat in San Diego, California. How much meat do you eat? I really don't eat meat. But the recipe, again, to bridge North America, the land animals, without these people saying, "Are you this eel?" They'll show you that the bed bugs are like these weird little I don't know what uh, 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 they're homophones type of um, 2 or 3 single cell amoebic organisms that have teeth like piranhas in South America. I don't know if you think that is North America and you can get a little fish tank and go talk to it thinking that's your child and your family or your business. I know nothing about that. All right. So when I look at that and the brackets that you have on both of the areas there, paying that rent. If Mayor Giuliani came in here and said the adult entertainment have to be 500 feet from the school, 500 feet from the religious building, now you have everything online. What is it, the little, receptor of you're looking for your pet locator and couldn't do that with a person? I don't even want to say human being. I mean, these people keep thinking monkey, gorilla, orangutan, ape, and baboon, and chimpanzee. I don't even want to. I don't even know how to say. I'm a human being. You might want to go back and say, what tree are you? What cemetery are you from? Did you hang out in the incinerator with checkbooks long in North Arlington with those children that you had trained for the ward of the state to rid yourself of the child, but didn't address the person here, Christina Downs, who is the mother, who is very able to represent themselves in court without saying, "Are you looking for food?" The Long Island Bar Association, whatever your name can be, on Rainbow Drive in Hopog, or the other one in Riverhead, for that matter. All right, and then I look at that to say, how soon did you think that you were in Canada with Dr. Rowe? Then how soon after did you think the Russians with Dr. Rustem for $20 on 7 North N on the Belt Parkway in Brooklyn would sustain your life? So it's now the 20th year, happy millennium of your mouse from Hot 22 with Stephen Calabrese or whatever. So I don't know, you could say, here's the person, dark melon complexion, candy, her hair is so straight, it's black. Christina Downs is not related to your race. Pretty simple. Doesn't mean I'm prejudiced or anything, but this has been a long, long, disgusting type of life for me. It really has. You're going to your white mother, your white father, you're talking to your sister over there. How long are you going to sit there going to look at these shoes, elite high heel shoes? You get all these shoes, you could stare at them on cement. All right? So there's no revenue for me to be myself. You know what I mean? That's why I said, oh, you got married, very nice man, very nice man. But then it looked like once after you were off the drugs, really high on, what does the doctor school say? You know what I mean? Online presentations. These are not all of Tim Thoden. So, if you thought I was promiscuous, I'm telling you, I do not do illegal narcotics, prescription drugs, and I do not participate in promiscuous activity. It's pretty simple. So why would you keep coming to me like that and thinking, how long have you been clean? I'm born 1968. I've been clean every day. All right? Now, when you do that, this man, all right, is in North Plainfield. So I don't know if you think William Murray somehow got to Mather Hospital and could just say, suck Dr. Wobber's holes and make the tolls and make a Sphinx in Blue Point and a pizzeria. That is, I'm like out there, Castor and Pollux, if you wanted to go visit me in the constellations and astronomy, and really, chart that if you wanted to go live there with the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper. All right? How many times are you scooping up your measuring cup, wanting to video record that? Do you do food? Are you interested in watching that, on psychiatric medication on occasion? Oh, very nice, you can make food. That's what that looks like. So, I don't know if you dress up for that. You're really, pumped up for that. You know what I mean? You can make food. So I don't know if these people video record themselves. The only thing I could think of is if you went to all the Spanish-speaking countries. Maybe they know English, maybe they don't. You're looking at something in Japan with Pearl Harbor in what is it? Sandwich. So I don't know what are you gonna say the difference between Japan and Mexico? I would say, everything like chicken, cow, goat, rabbit, possum, raccoon. These people are like raising weird type of meat. It's not just, if you want your your rodent with the white paint on it, you want to farm that, I don't know. People eat very strange stuff. So that's why I said, why would you eat your horse? All right, I know this guy, he had horseradish, he was eating this horse. They were really farming horses to eat horse. Have you ever thought of this person might think that that's the entire process that it took for that plastic to be processed to watch and video record the same people doing hair? All right, so they might look at that, as I don't know how you would look at that. These guys have duck sauce, soy sauce, hot sauce, and I think they had back in the bay sauce or something. All right, so that's a prepackaged type of condiment. You know what I mean? And I really don't eat that if those are your eyeglass frames. You could have $150, $200 worth of condiments from the Chinese food store in Port Jefferson, Hong Kong, and swear that you're in China. I don't know. I didn't build the building. I'm not Chinese. All right? And when I look at that, if you upgrade, and then you're having the same rice, it's like an upgrade of the chicken, cow, pig, lamb, goat, whatever that is. The same way you have that and you're serving that, that's what I think the predominantly food is, that you're frying, you're nuking, you're barbecuing, whether it's propane, it's a gas grill, it's an electric grill, and, you're like psyched out, man. You're like fried, man. I really don't know how much food you're looking for. But I would like to say, people that are overweight or borderline, walking around skeleton, slender, starving, it might be something that's totally missing on the menu. You're saying vegetarian, but yet the sashimi is not even utilizing any vegetables. You're saying you're just going to lay down on psychiatric drugs, and that's your vegetable for the week. You get the weight like Libby's cans or something in the supermarket, and you could swear that that's your weight. You just lay down and take your food, and you can market it that way on a dolly or something, and say Dolly Parton can still wheel you like that if you eat a bag with wheels on it. Think about how long are you traveling. So it's not that I'm prejudiced. I just, when you look at me, you'll say, oh, that's the black girl. No, I'm not. For them to have that sensitivity, the child was in a torso being walked in the California woods. All right? To keep saying, are you the black girl? The child was charred to a crisp like Tommy Watson. Did you think there was a relationship with the writers group or you're going to keep singing songs or something in court? If you wanted to rent the court building at Central Islip and all come back in your DEA, post-traumatic stress disorder t-shirts with Olivia Alvarez, AA, you're really rooting for that, and welterweights and featherweights. You're really saying, you want to be someone else. You could sing and dance in front of the flagpole. All right? Come out of your courtroom, doing your little exercises and your yoga treatment, waiting to open up the wood, have a seat on a wood bench. Now, when you go to Central Islip, they're not video recording. You have to privately, you can't video record it. All right? So I don't know why anybody watches that. I really don't. I have not gotten any type of person, let's look at this one. Your hair is so straight. Are you going to be the next, food plastic tray, a partial plastic bag of what's the accounts of giving a child wrapped up in a garbage bag a present? Did they save that? Because I thought that was appropriate. Here's the Bitty Baby, the American Girl doll, says, how long you would live there, saying Rosin and Rosalind Saving Bank with a violin. The black man, how quickly he could get the left hand to play violin. Why? You're approaching me as if I'm part of their race. Run, alarm, control, evacuate. I am not part of Africa, America. If you want to say that's Chrissy Downs' area, you can fly back and forth. More than likely, I will not be aware of it. I would never be a respondent of it, other than you could plant food. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I could think of. So, if they're that into food. So you predominantly have vegetables and farm animals. I would never think that I'm a farm animal. I don't know. This lady goes beep, beep constantly. Then what are you looking at, the horns? You're going to say, how long do you want to go? Burr, 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 and make a horn out of it and play a musical instrument out of a cow horn or a bull horn. So, I really don't watch that, but it's very sad that you can't even address that the child is no longer living. It's very sad that you can't sit down with the same person from East Setauket, no matter where it is, say, I want to show you that this child is no longer living. I want to give you the mortician 6100 box in Hauppauge, New York, and state that you can have the medical examiner, Stephanie Horowitz, or anybody else, physically write that down to Christina Downs of her biological child, saying she did have a very, background of, working in a hospital. That's not saying, you look so good. Can I put you on, a Grey's Anatomy and say, do you want to do that for a profession? No. Thomas Churchill came in, he did a system devoured, said, are you interested in doing a system devoured too? No. So not much has changed in 20 consecutive years. All right? I'm physically disabled, right? Why would someone physically disabled think that they are going to benefit by doing singing, dancing, and acting? Then saying, I'm home, and you're listening to that. So this might be more appropriate for you to listen to, right? If you wanted to, hack the computer, I want to hear what you're saying about me. I'm just making the accounts that aren't the minutes in an anonymous meeting. My name's Christina Downs, right? Christina D-Thoden, a variation. Christina Abramatis Downs, Marie Kinney Thoden. If you want to say, Ed Kinney is the angel guardian home. If Ed Kinney is related to that, why would he line up crack cocaine? Thinking I do crack cocaine? I don't. It's like, I just don't understand. I really don't. That's like saying, why would you think that there's a relationship because you have an engagement ring you took from the bathroom at the Riverhead Eastern Campus? You're going to walk around saying, I'm going to look at this child playing in the jewelry store? No, there isn't any engagement. You're going to think Christina Downs is a man? You're a psychiatric patient. Pretty simple, right? So you could go visit, if you video recorded yourself, how did you look with Ronnie Tedesco eating food with Barbara Downs? Did you two look good together? Say you were pregnant approximately with this child, Debbie Downs, around when Ronnie Tedesco was born. Did you know each other? You might want to reintroduce yourself. That might not be your mother. Even if you did, would you think that's your mother-in-law? You are not related. But, when you do that, I don't know if it was the motor vehicle. So people slowed down. They played with horses. They got pets. They really weren't into, look at this brand new motor vehicle, your BMW. And you could sit there and program that with Bixby and fly away in a drone. So I'm trying to do it in the first person, talk about myself. Because they have so many lists of these children to say, how could you not know that child at Hammy's house was not the child on Erna saying this lady's going to go beep beep, saying you look for Tanja or Tiffany or anybody named the Keys or something, and then go on Mount Sinai with the sump there on the converted garage. Since they got a drop off there, they probably lived there forever. When can they smoke marijuana? All right? So I don't think you should drive. It's not my opinion. If you think I'm related to that again, they do a commercial. This is this child that was at Forest Hills. Here comes the police crawling out of the left shoulder points if you needed to do acupuncture. We show you the download on that. Well, we keep studying something online that somebody has and think that's a provision for education. It isn't. Now, that's really nice, right? So, you had your Bellport area, which was one day. Ray and Laura said you could live. What am I going to live with somebody that says they beat the shit out of their woman for or something? I don't live with Ray Stockwell or whatever, Laura Stockwell. All right? She could talk to herself all day long, on Hawkins Avenue and Boyle Road. I know where they live. The chemist can come back to Continental saying you worked for Concern. The other person can keep playing with their marijuana plants. I said, what are you going to get out of that long term? So I don't know long term what that is. So you might have these people, yes, they're dancing, oh my God, they're dancing. So that's what I did. So you're saying that you're embarrassed on that. That's inappropriate behavior, but yet that's what they're doing. So I just don't understand that. I really don't. I really don't. That's like saying, did you need, put the cheese, the grated cheese over there? These people might have thought the grated cheese was crack cocaine and put it in there. You're still looking for food. You're so fucking fat. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're able to have a conversation, but unfortunately, on prescription psychiatric medication stating you're bipolar, thinking that would be funding you to go to the Arctic Circle or National Geographic tours and talk to Fargo and the Churchill bus in Alaska might not be far off. How some other people, took a very long time to save their money and go see. You think I'm a polar bear? You're mentally ill, man. You really are. All right. So, that's why these people, I don't know what they benefited from it. Did they say that, your tires were like $150, on the front right, you went on one knee and proposed and, at Mather Hospital 200 years ago in England or Spain or something, 200 years ago. Anybody get married? I have no idea. Who are they? I don't know. I'm not from there. And, I look at that to say it's so difficult, all these brand new houses there, Then you say, at any time, you could have talked to Christina Downs without saying, oh, yo, can I get a drag of your cigarette? I mean, you got a cigarette? Throw a whole fucking pack on the side of the road, man. Here's a book of matches. So I don't conversate like that. I don't think that's a social event. And then they'll say, do you have cancer? Do you have any grade cancer? No. So wait 25 to 30 years. I'll be 80 years old. Well, how long do you expect to live? 120 to 130 years old? Do you have anybody yet? They're 120 to 130 years old. If you didn't smoke any type of tobacco cigarette, we could extend your life on a dissertation thesis that you would prove indefinitely that you would be able to live till 125 to 130 years old. I'd love to hear it, you know what I mean? A lecture on that. Otherwise, I don't know what to tell you. Even if you didn't smoke, some of these people that did not smoke dropped dead. Oh, that's because their neighbors did. What is that, the fireplaces? So you're electrocuted. If you say you can convert the fireplace to electric. So either way, I'm so glad I had a conversation with myself. And then on Saturday, November 16th, the only reason why I remember that, is calling 852-COPS in the area code 631. The other one is 852-TIPS, TIPS. I called one of them. Maybe the other one does politics and they do political science. I think one of them showed up here in 2012. Christina, oh, I'm doing politics. All right, that's nice. I'm not interested. Why? I haven't gone anywhere. I really haven't. You think you're representing someone from the United States, video recording it because you're paying your cable vision, like digital cable. And you're living in Puerto Rico, man. I have no idea. So I said, did you need a tip, the $5 tip or something in Puerto Rico? Or just shoot a dog. Why do you think I'm a dog? So I don't know how many times this person, this man or this woman or this child, crawls in while I'm sleeping. This is the itinerary of what you bought. Nothing at Kmart. I didn't buy one thing at Kmart. I walked in once, looked at their clothing, knowing that they would not sustain life. I'm a bicyclist. Then where am I going to dress up, sitting there in a predominant area that just does drugs? I'm by myself. There is no marriage. There is no engagement. So if you wanted to talk all day long about somebody else's pictures that they picked, maybe you should talk about yourself first. Maybe you should talk about your addresses, and not ask, what's your social security number? Why? Are you looking for little, numbers on your balance that's on the radial tires? You looking for little serial numbers that's on the grid of the starter or the braking system or anything like that? More than likely, I don't know if they'll put that. Is that your vehicle identification number? And it's in the engravers list with Once Upon a Time. So I don't know who made that. How long you'll talk about Tim, Eric, Becca. Why don't you talk about yourself? I would love to hear these people just talk about themselves. So you're saying these are the people that talked about themselves so many times that you watch them. Why don't you talk about yourself? You watch these people, you think you're related to them, you're not related to them online. This person, Christina Downs, saying, I'm not related since 1968. And these are all the effects of that. Now, who is your birth mother? Who is your birth father? What's the circumstances of the conception of approximately September to December 1967? I haven't heard anything like that other than you going to dance, sing, do drugs, party, politics, religion. I don't know if you thought that was a relationship. Go back to the late model motor vehicles and that sort of thing. So that's my reality. So if someone comes in, what are you going to bring to the relationship? I'm not talking about a table. I mean, they're in outer space, the International Space Station. What table? What do you think I'm bringing to the table? You could have sliced chicken, goat, cow, lamb, and then put it on the same rice. Have some sort of tea blend with a dab of soy sauce that would say that you're wetting your palate with that on a different spice. Have horseradish. I really don't eat horse at all. And some mentally people might think I am a horse. I'm not. And then have like a pre-hot sauce in there, like the Chinese, Japanese do or something. And you have the horseradish in there that you would put on there as a hot sauce. You know what I mean? Somehow patent that, but do it over and over and over and over and over and over again. You know, it's not like a 3-week cycle menu at a hospital. All right? So you're talking tens of thousands of people where, you would say the stylo, which is a pencil. You need the box, A. It's a pencil, right? So you need, and I looked at that, tried to, break that up so that, that might help you. Instead of saying, I'm going to put this goat and watch it swim. I'm going to watch this horse swim and saying that you're exercising your legs. I don't get it. I really don't. Just like I don't get, your lower portion of the robotics of the parallel bar saying you're just walking. They made that too for some of these people. I really thought, you're going to cut the tail of a crocodile, put a prosthetic tail on it, and then watch it swim in a chlorinated pool. Oh, yeah, of course they're swimming. So, that's strange. I don't know if they had 14 visits with that of their life. I'm not related to you. Every year with Medicare and Medicaid, and any insurance that doesn't pay out anyway. So on top of that, if you think of that, and that food, you have all this fruit and vegetables. You're not even integrating any type of vegetarian type of lifestyle with this alleged sushi, sashimi. I was like, where's that? You don't know if it's a boy or a girl, like I was trying to say, the transitional assistant, they're still working, saying this person, it's not related to Christina D-Thoden. Here, this person, you could record yourself. But they might not want to. They might want to sing, dance, and act, and put their makeup on, and feel good about themselves. That's why I said I'm with the person that wants to just talk about themselves as a first person as pertained to themselves and keep it on record. If you wanted to get the 45, 33s, vinyl 78s, don't really get that beep out. So the other person had all of these bitches. Do you think I'm going to be related to people 250 pounds? They're going to waddle around and sit down. How is the baby? I don't know if they thought it as a projection. I'm a slender person. I'm not serving anything either, saying I'm so skinny. All right? I'm physically disabled. That's why I say, I'm not the guy that you're going to carry around. This is the guy in the wheelchair that gets around, man, with his black girlfriend. And she's brown, right? So I don't know why you would think that I'm in your relationship. Have you ever thought about opening a Japanese Mexican restaurant? And taking, the slice of the raw gold or whatever, and don't mix it with rice. And use the same thing. We know your hair grew. If you wanted your black hair like that, or, I don't know, this plastic process, maybe they'll look at my skull. How can we make a plastic table? It's not being served anywhere at a restaurant because these people have been on the grid, paperless, for a while. So I don't know why anybody, is it the disabled people? They were active in the community. They were, actively on or off the books or something like that. And these people might state, now that you don't do that, these people are active in the community and they don't do paperwork. So the only people you have technically are the disabled people to mail things in a post office. Even the residential address, a concern over there, your employer, for about maybe 6 months in Port Jefferson on North Country Road. And all they did was count pills. Why can't you count your own pills? These people like steal pills. You're mentally ill. I've been talking about, Spencer Holmes in 2016 popping an aspirin. I said, what, they put grape juice in it and say that was double-barrel purple mescaline in 1980 at the walkway over there at Arrowhead School District, behind the stores of Strathmore Bagels. So, you're really been doing drugs for a while, right? All right, we know you're a doctor, you can dissect the body, but you can't do housing for some reason. So why, you should not be on my account, right? So that worked out pretty good. But like I said, I really like that, the woman that I said, how do you feel about the $273 trillion bailout of the United States automobile industries when Senator Flanagan was there when I lived in Fort Nicholas Court? The woman that answered said, I shall have no opinion on politics. I still remember that. So I did not state that. I just know, how do you get across to these people? These people, yes, I know who you are. Yes, you know who you are. Are you voting? No. Are you going to take this and help me and pick that the fuck up instead of saying Joe Saladano emailed you or something? Is Eric Trump going to say, take that goddamn desk, go put it in the back of the fucking trunk in the taxi cab? No. You're not helping me.